And US President Donald Trump said that he wants to completely lift the tariffs imposed on Vietnam in what could be a major U-turn following his decision to impose reciprocal tariffs on the Southeast Asian nation. The US President said that he wants to cut Vietnam's tariffs down to zero, following what he called a very productive call with his counterpart To Lam. Earlier, Trump imposed reciprocal tariffs of 46% on Vietnam, which is nearly 5 times the minimum 10% levy he imposed on other countries. The tariff imposition struck a severe blow to manufacturing companies operating in the Southeast Asian nation. Following Trump's statement, shares of sports brands having large manufacturing bases in Vietnam gained momentum on the bourses. Share prices of popular sports brands like Nike surged by 6%, while other brands like Lululemon and Skechers also gained significantly. Reports suggest that the US president is in talks with Israel and India to negotiate deals that would alleviate tariffs. Senior Israeli officials reportedly said that most of the tariffs can be solved following a phone call between President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Trump administration earlier imposed 17% tariffs on Israel with a 10% baseline levy on all exports to the US. Meanwhile, the tariff war heats up between Beijing and Washington. China's Ministry of Commerce has banned the export of dual-use items to the US. In a statement, the Chinese Commerce Ministry said that the export ban decision has been made to safeguard national security and fulfill international obligations. Further, it also added 16 US entities to its export control list, and this comes after China imposed 34% tit-for-tat tariffs on the US following duty levies by the Trump administration earlier this week. In addition to this, a non-profit group filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration for alleged misuse of emergency powers to impose tariffs on Chinese imports. In a filing to Florida federal court, the non-profit organization called Trump's decision unconstitutional, while arguing that a president cannot impose tariffs on Americans. Meanwhile, the European Union has lambasted the new 20% tariffs as unjustified. The EU trade chief has reassured its commitment to meaningful negotiations with the United States. He also called for a fresh approach to trade ties between the US and the EU. Furthermore, France said that it will hold a National Industry Council in the capital, Paris, to address the commercial crisis triggered by the hike in customs duties in the US. And on the other hand, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni said that Trump's tariffs will have a significant impact, but added that the country should be able to handle them. Now, Trump's tariffs also dealt a severe blow to the US's northern neighbors, Canada. The Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said that the country got the best of a series of bad deals, while adding that he will continue to fight the measures imposed by the US president. Africa, too, was spared from Trump's Liberation Day tariffs, with Lesotho now on the verge of losing nearly half of its textile exports to the US. The Trump administration imposed 50% tariff on exports from the South African country. Lesotho exports jeans for Levi's and Calvin Klein and accounts for more than 1/10 of its GDP. The country is putting up a delegation to head to Washington and hold talks on the proposed tariffs. In India, Trump's tariffs threaten to undermine the country's booming and jewelry exports. Diamond jewelers in Surat fear that their livelihoods are at risk. Several jewelers believe that the 27% tariff imposition by the Trump administration will have a severe impact as the US is the biggest market for the diamond industry. Following Trump's reciprocal tariffs, the United Nations has said that trade tariffs will hurt the vulnerable and poor people. It added that trade must serve development and global growth. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.